Subscribe. Please click the like button, share and subscribe. It's free.
Am I correct to say, are you the investigating officer of 636 of 10/2014?
Mfashisi ummeli othi ufuna ukwazi ukuthi wena iqiniso nawo ukuthi wena iphoyisa eliphenyayo kuleli cala u636 of 2014.
Bese ngishilo ngabekwa National Commissioner no Minister wamaphoyisa kule case.
As I have
636 of 10/2014.
As I have previously stated that I was appointed by the Minister of Police and the Commissioner to investigate in the matter 636 of 10 of 2014.
So you mentioned 4 people that were appointed by the minister. Do you know if Sergeant Makhola and Sergeant Mukhani were also part of those people who were appointed by the National Commission?
Ukhulume ngabantu abane ukuthi bona bebakade beyingxenye yalo liphenyo. Uyazi ukuthi uSergeant Makhola no Sergeant Mukhani bekade kungabanye abantu abekuthi bebakade bewe ucommissioner nomphathi wamaphoyisa.
What is the relevance of the question that my learned friend is asking?
There's evidence before this court that they were part of the investigating team under the lead of Brigadier Gininda. I want the witness to agree if he has the knowledge of the of Mukhani and Makhola during the investigations in this case.
Uthumela uyazi ukuthi uMukhani noMakhola nabo bayikade kuyingxenye yalabantu bekade bebekwe ucommissioner nomphathi wamaphoyisa. No, I do not know.
Okay. So when accused number 1 was arrested, including accused number 2, 3, 4 and 5, were you contacted by either or by one of the investigating officers that were appointed under 636 10/2014?
Uma umsolo wokuqala eboshwa nabo bonke laba owemsolo wesibini wesithathu wesine nowesihlanu uye wathintwa nawo washayelwa ucingo mhlawumbe womunye wabaphenyi balecala u636 10/2014. No, there is no one that contacted me.
There's evidence that has been led by the state to the effect that this matter 636 10/2014 is one of the matters that falls under the cold case unit.
Kunobufakazi obulethiwe la enkantolo ukuthi lecala lelu 636 elinye lamacala ekuthawela ngaphansi kwale unit ye cold case.
What is a cold case unit?
Yini i-cold case unit?
A cold case unit. Abantu abaphenya ngamacala lawa asafayiliwe kuma archives afayiliwe.
The cold case unit, it's a team that is investigating matters that have been filed and archived.
So is this matter 636, was it one of the matters that were filed?
It's 636 kwakade kungenye yamacala abekade efayiliwe.
How will the witness know that? And what is the relevance of all this?
The witness is the investigating officer unless the state will rebut the fact that he has now been appointed.
Who was the chief? Sorry, maybe let's get this. Who was the, according to your instructions, who was the lead investigating officer? Because even Rachamakwateng was an investigating officer of a lower rank. Maybe my job was just to polish the shoes of Brigadier Gininda.
My lord, according to my instruction as the court so request to, according to my instruction is that there's no one who was appointed to lead the investigation. They were all,
okay, fine, no problem. I
Yes.
hear you. So when Gininda comes here and says he's a lead investigator, he was not being frank with the court.
That's
Okay, fine.
what I'll argue
Okay, right.
at a later stage.
All right.
So, sir, do you confirm that instruction that under 636, no one has been appointed by the National Commissioner to lead the investigation?
Uyavuma nawo ukuthi kule cala u636 akekho umuntu obekade yena embekiwe ucommissioner noma umphathi wamaphoyisa ukuthi kube uyena oyikuthi ungumphenyi omkhulu kuleli cala.
Ngeke kwathiwa loka no4 nezophenya lenkala. Akuzange kuthiwe wena uzohamba phambili or ulide laba. Akuzange kusho kanjalo.
When we were appointed, we were informed that we will all investigate this matter.
Irrespective of rank.
Akuzange kubhekwe nokuthi irank kabani ithini nivele kwathiwe nje nonke nizophela.
Into eyenza lokho ukuthi uminister asho kanjalo. Kukhona abantu abalinganayo ngamarank. So azange akwazi ukuthi abheke umuntu ukuthi athi wena uzolida le investigation.
My Lord, what made the minister to say that is because there were people that were equal in ranks, and that is why the minister did not choose anyone to lead the investigation.
So everybody was lead. Equal. Nobody makes a decision. All of you are equal.
Wonke umuntu ke bekade niphenya nje nonke nilingana akekho obekade ethatha isinqumo.
No, ngichaza ukuthi ngizosho ngamagama uKenel Gininda noKenel Ramkhali bekurank A1.
My Lord, Colonel Gininda and Colonel Ramkhali were in the same rank of A.
Yes.
So kukhona no-Captain Buthelezi.
And there was also Captain Buthelezi,
Also kuba Warrant Makhubu.
and there was myself, Warrant Officer Makhubu.
So, when you're appointed, if I want to get it correct, you said, what evidence do you have that were appointed to investigate this case 636?
Obuphi ubufakazi obeninabo noma yini
you
into engabonakanisa njengobufakazi?
Or at any given stage prior to the arrest of these 5 accused, you had a meeting with the rest of the investigating officer appointed?
Sona isikhathi ukuthi niye nahlangana njengabaphenyi balecala ngaphambi kokuthi abasolwa baboshwe.
Ahlangane kaningi.
We indeed had meetings.
But in relation to the confessions that were allegedly made by accused number 1 and number 2,
Ukuya ngokugonyuluka lokho okwenziwe umsolwa wokuqala nowesibili. No, we did not meet with regards to the confessions.
so are you saying you were not involved in the taking of the confessions of accused number 1 and 2? And are you also saying that it was not by agreement between the investigating officers?
Manje uthini uthi wena awuzange ube ingxenye yaloko kugonyuluka okwenziwe umsolwa wokuqala nowesibili futhi nina njengabaphenyi nanikade ningavumelananga ngaleyo nto?
Okay, you can just mention accused number 1.
Uthi ungakhuluma njengomsolwa wokuqala, umsolwa wesibili ungapheli ungakhulumi ngaye.
Kulama meeting besiluka sibahamba.
On the meetings that we held,
Kwaba nembono ehlukene. Ingakho kwaba khona
there were different opinions.
Yes.
So kwaba ngamaqembu ayi-2.
And that is when we divided into 2 teams.
Lokho kwazenzakalela ngoba kwaba nemibono ehlukene.
It naturally happened because we had different opinions.
Ingakho noma kuboshwa abamangalelwa laba azange saziswe mina no Colonel Buthelezi.
And that is why, even when the suspects were arrested, we were not informed, myself and Colonel Buthelezi.
So let's get back. You said, insofar as your knowledge about the cold case, this case was not filed. It was still under investigation. Is that your evidence?
Uthe wena ukuya ngolwazi lwakho leli cala lona lalikade lingakafayilwa ukuya ngolwazi lwakho.
Belangafayilwa leli cala leli into engenza ukuthi ngisho ukuthi belangafayilwa. Uminister yathi makasibeka wathi bokunama member of 40 aphenya leqala.
Yes, this matter was not filed yet, and what makes me to say that is because the minister, when he appointed us, he said there were 40 members that were investigating this matter.
So bakoshilo phakathi
And,
so far.
and he had dismissed all of them, and he was now appointing the 4 of us.
So, in connection with the investigations, and you even said there were 2 camps because of different opinions.
Manje ngalolu phenyo njengoba uye wathi nigcine sekuthi seniyahlukana kuba amaqembu amabini ngoba nanikade ninemibono ehlukile.
So was there any consultation with the state prosecutor or the director of public prosecutions in relation to your independent opinions?
Kunesikhathi la ukuthi mhlawumbe niye nakhulumisana nomshushisi noma abaphathi babashushisi ukuya ngale mibono yenu ehlukile. Yes, that is correct.
Please tell the court.
Tshela inkantolo.
Mhlaka idate angisayikhumbuli mara ngo 2020.
Even though I would not recall the date, but it was
2019.
But it was in the year 2019.
So sase office in laga Advocate BALOI.
We were in Advocate BALOI's office.
Sizokhuluma ngayo indaba yale case.
To speak about this particular case. Qhubeka.
Awubeka umbono wami ku Advocate BALOI.
And I have given Advocate BALOI my opinion.
Yes.
Qhubeka.
Ngalo lonke uphenyo lalo mbono wami ohlukile
About the investigation of my different opinion.
Yes.
Qhubeka ba.
so sashi docket kuye.
And we left the docket in Mr. BALOI's office.
If you say we, with who were you?
Uma uthi sa share i-docket. Ubani?
Bekuye no Colonel Buthelezi.
It was myself and Colonel Buthelezi.
Yes.
Yebo.
Uma kusenjalo kwafika uColonel Gininda wafika nedocket leli linye
And
abayithula amadocket.
And after that, whilst we were still there, then Colonel Gininda came with another docket. Then there were 2 dockets.
To mention which docket is that? Is it 636 and?
The ama-docket ungasho beku 636 nayiphi.
Phosphorus case 375.
Phosphorus case 375
stroke 1 stroke 2019.
Stroke 1 stroke 2019.
So you left these two dockets with Advocate BALOI, or is it the only one docket that you left with Advocate BALOI?
Lama dogoto mabini nawashia no Advocate BALOI no manashia a lot.
Asala wethu.
We left both of them.
Then you said Brigadier Gininda arrived. What do you mean by that?
Hotel Brigadier Gininda wafika ushukuthini ngalokho.
Wayefika phethe docket 636 phosphorus case 636.
He came in position of a docket phosphorus case 636
stroke 10 stroke 2014.
stroke 10 stroke 2014.
Yes.
Yebo.
What's the relevance of that? What did you do with the docket?
Ibaluleke kanjani lento oyishoyo wenzeni ngaleyo docket?
Ukuthi phela njengomtshutshisi athathe decision kule nto lesiyenzile kule investigation lesiyenzile.
So that the prosecution would take a decision on the investigation that we had made.
Yeah, we're adjourned for 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Yes. Thank you, my lord. So, Mr. Makhubu, I think that will be my final question.
Umbuzo wakhe wokugcina nawo.
Was there any letter that was issued to you by the National Commissioner or the Minister terminating your appointment as the investigating officer in this case?
Ikhona incwadi oye wayinikwa mhlawumbe umphathi wamaphoyisa noma incwadi ewuye wanikwa ukuthi kuleli cala awusase omunye wabaphenyi. No, I did not receive
Thank you, my lord. I have no further questions.
Yes, Mr. BALOI. Okay, yes, Mr.
Warrant Officer Makhubu, you testify that you were not involved in the taking down of the confession of accused number 1. Is that correct?
Uthe awuzange ube ingxenye yokuthi ubhale uma umsolo egonyolo.
Ngisho kanjalo.
That is correct.
You were also not involved in the pointings out that took place on the 5th of June 2020. Is that correct?
Futhi nokukhomba okwayenzakala nge-5 zika June 2020 wawukade ungasiyingxenye yakhona.
Yebo kanjalo.
That is correct.
And those are the issues that the court is seized with at the moment. So your evidence is not helpful as far as those two aspects are concerned, the taking down of the confession of accused number 1, as well as the pointing out that took place on the 5th of June 2020. The confession took place on the 30th of May 2020. You cannot be of any assistance to the court as far as those two statements are concerned. Is that correct?
Lezi zinto ezimqoka ezisilethelana namuhla ukuthi abasolwa baye bayokhomba futhi bagonyuluka ukuthi nge-5 zika June 2020 nange-30 zika May 2020 wena wawukade ungasiyingxenye yakho lokho kusho ukuthi ubufakazi bakho abukwazi ukuthi kungasiza inkantolo ngalezo zinto ezimbini ukukhomba nokugunyuluka kwakho. That is correct.
You don't know the circumstances under which those statements were obtained.
Futhi awazi nokuthi leza statement zabhalwa noma zatholwa kanjani. Yes, I do not know.
You testify that you were appointed by the National Commissioner and the Minister
Uthe wena uye waphakanyiswa noma wamiswa Commissioner no Minister
to be involved in this investigation.
ukuthi uzophenya kule cala.
Yebo kanjalo.
That is correct.
If you say we, who are you referring to?
Uma uthi sa thina usho abobani?
Okuyimi
It was myself,
Colonel Buthelezi,
Colonel Buthelezi,
Colonel Ramo Ramuhale.
Colonel Ramuhale,
Also Colonel Gininda by then.
And-
Colonel Gininda.
and Colonel Gininda. By then, he was still Colonel.
But were you all appointed at the same time?
Nonke
These people that you've mentioned, were you all appointed at the same time?
nakhethwa nonke ngesikhathi esisodwa.
Ngesikhathi esisodwa.
Yes, at the same time, my lord.
And when was that? When did this appointment take place?
Bekunini ngayiphi date ngamuphi unyaka?
18 November 2018.
On the 18th of November in 2018.
The evidence of Brigadier Gininda is that they took over as a cold case unit in 2019. What is your comment?
Brigadier Gininda yena uthe bona baye bafika basebenza baqala ukusebenza kuleli cala ngo-2019 njenge-cold case unit.
Mina angiyazi cold case unit emaphoyiseni angiyazi.
I do not know the cold case unit in the police service.
But you just testified about the cold case unit. How can you say you don't know about it?
Manje mawuthi awuyazi i-cold case unit usho kanjani ngoba bowuphana ubufakazi ngayo?
No, ngibuzwe ngama-case ukuthi anjani ama-case cold case unit, not unit.
I was asked about the type of cases. What type of cases are referred to as cold case units, not the unit itself.
You testify that the cold case unit deals with cases that have been filed. Is that correct?
Kodwa uthe i-cold case unit isebenza ngama-case ekuthi sewafayiliwe. Iqiniso lelo? That is correct.
But Brigadier Gininda outlined the mandate of the cold case unit as working on cases that have not been resolved, not filed.
uBrigadier Gininda yena uye wachaza kabanzi ukuthi i-cold case unit isebenza ngamacala angaqedwanga, hayi amacala afayiliwe.
Anje ngichaze le ndaba.
May I explain?
Yes.
Idocket lisaphenywa.
A docket that is still investigated.
Alibandi lelo docket ngoba lisaphenywa.
It's not a cold.
Sesandleni se-investigating officer.
It's not-
Lisaqhubeka yaphenywa.
It's not a cold docket because it's still in the hands of an investigating officer and they're still investigating it. Beka?
I-case ebandayo, i-case esefiling.
A cold case is a case that is on file.
That's why kuthiwa it's a cold case because ifayiliwe.
And that is why it is referred to as a cold case because it has been filed.
Is it your understanding of the mandate of the cold case unit?
Ukuzwisisa kwakho wokuthi cold case unit isebenza kanjani.
Angizwisisi ngiyazi.
It is not my understanding, it's my knowledge.
Anyway, we're not going to enter into a debate into that, but Brigadier Gininda testified that the mandate of the cold case unit is to deal with cases that have not been resolved,
Uthi-ke ngeke
not
siphikisane
not cases that have been filed.
ngeke siphikisane ngalokho kodwa uBrigadier Gininda yena uye wathi amacala akusetshenzwa ngawo kwi-cold case unit amacala ayikuthi awaqedwanga.
You mentioned that there were two teams working on this matter regarding the death of Mr. SENZO May. Was that correct?
Uthe kuye kwaba namaqembu amabini abekade esebenza ngaleli cala likamufi uSenzo Meyiwa. Iqiniso lokho?
Ngithe ekahambeni kwe-investigation
I said
kwaba nokuhlukana kwaba nokuphezwa kwama-team ayi-2.
I said as the investigation proceeded, then that's when there were two teams where we divided.
And he testified that these teams were of different opinions. Is that correct?
Uthe lamaqembu lawa wayekade ehlukene ngemicabango.
Yebo kanjani.
That is correct.
This is regarding what?
Benihlukaniswa yini kule micabango?
Sehlukaniswa indaba yesenzakalo se-crime scene eyenzakala ephosphorus.
We were divided by the place of the crime scene of what happened in Phosphorus.
Yes.
Yebo?
Is it correct that there are two theories?
Iqiniso ukuthi nemibono ehlukile emibili. That is correct.
And what are those theories?
Nina nibona kanjani?
How is that going to help us resolve the admissibility of full confession?
Yes, that's just based on his evidence. But just one aspect on this point, my lord. You mentioned that you were an investigator in 636, First Lawrence 63610 stroke 2014, is that correct?
Uchewa ukade ungumphenyi kwi-Phosphorus case 63610 2014. Yes, I am an investigator.
But is it correct?
Kodwa iqiniso lokho? Yes, it is correct.
But is it not so that you were appointed in respect of Phosphorus case 3751 of 2019?
Akusiqiniso na ukuthi wena ubukade uphiwe ukuthi uphenye kuleli cala lika 375 10 2019.
3751 of 2019.
3751 yaka 2019.
Le docket lika 37 Phosphorus 375 stroke 1 stroke 2019.
Yebo.
Livele masloke Spenya Phosphorus 636 of 10 2014.
The docket of 375 stroke 1 stroke 2019 emanated as we were busy investigating the docket of 636 10 of 2014.
And is it correct that you are the co-investigator in that case, Phosphorus 3751 of 2019?
Iqiniso ukuthi wena umphenyi ophethe la kuleli cala lika 375 stroke 1 2019.
Now
The matter is being investigated by myself and Colonel Buthelezi.
So in fact, you are not the investigating officer in Phosphorus 63610 of 2014, but you are the investigating officer in 3751 of 2019. Is that correct?
Kusho ukuthi wena awusiyena umphenyi waka 63610 of 2014, ungumphenyi wecala le 3751 of 2019.
Njengoba sengishilo ukuthi idocket le 375 liphume from Phosphorus case 366.
Like I said, that the docket 3751 of 2019 came from the docket of 636 of 10 2014.
Yes, and you carried on with the investigation in 3751 of 2019. Is that correct?
Waqhubeka ke kuphenyo lika 3751 of 2019. That is correct.
So it will not be correct to say that you are the investigating officer in Phosphorus 63610 of 2014.
Kusho ukuthi akusilona iqiniso uma kuthiwa wena ungumphenyi waka 63610 2014. I have all the dockets 63610 2014 and the other one.
But Warrant Officer Makhubu, without belaboring that point, the docket that you are currently carrying, it's Phosphorus case 3751 of 2019. Is that correct?
Uthi kodwa idokodo ewuliphethe u-3751 of 2019. Iqiniso.
Njengoba ngisho ngithi ngwaphethe wethu akhona wethu in my possession kimi.
My Lord, as I am saying, I have both of them in my possession.
Are you investigating both dockets?
Waphenya womabini.
Mangisebenza le case le 375. Angithi ngicala ngibheka ngapha ku 636.
As I'm working on the case 375, I firstly refer to 636.
Now, the procedure that you've outlined regarding the arrangements for the confession, that you make arrangements with your branch commander, is it documented anywhere?
Lezi inyathelo ewuthe esowukhulume ngazo ukuthi uzokhulumisana no branch commander wakho kunala ukuthi kuye kwabhalwa khona na.
Into engayiyela ngayifundiswa, into engikhuluma la, into engayifundela.
That's
Into esuka kimi ngayifundela, ngayifundiswa.
That is what I was taught. It's not what I just think of or just something that I know. It's something that I was taught.
But what I'm asking you is it documented anywhere?
Uthumshushisi kunala iyabhalwa khona na.
Ebhalwa kulabo abasifundisa eklasini ba. Yibo abaphethe ama-module.
It was documented. It was documented by our lectures in class, as they are the ones that had the modules.
You agree that the evidence that you gave regarding the arrest of accused number 1 on the 19th of March 2020, that is what you heard from other people. You got no first-hand knowledge regarding that. Is that correct?
Uyavuma ukuthi ubufakazi obuzwe ngalokhu kuboshwa kukamsola oqala nge-19 zikaMarch 2019 into ukuthi uyizwe kwabanye abantu awunalo ulwazi ngakho.
Ngizwe eChlorokop.
Yes, I heard it in Chlorokop when I was called.
Thank you, my lord. Those are the only aspects that this matter was allocated to you. Is that correct?
That is correct, which is the 12th of November 2018, my lord.
Kubekiwe lapha ku page 43 ukuthi ngathola nganikezela ngaleli cala mhla 12 November 2018.
And just for the record, can you just mention the case number of the matter that the court is seized with?
So, yes, my lord, it's Phosphorus 636 of 10/2014.
Leli cala ke icala ithiwa Phosphorus 636 of 10 of 2014.
Another docket has been mentioned in these proceedings that ran parallel to the main case. Is that correct?
Yes, I've heard about it, my lord. That will be Phosphorus 375 of 1/2019.
Tikhona ke leli enicala lijobelele kulelo Phosphorus 375 of 1 of 2019.
But in that aspect, my lord, maybe one should put it into context that that case 375, it's not a murder docket. It's a defeating docket that was opened by Warrant Makhubu as the complainant. The only murder docket of the deceased, that is SENZO Robert Meyiwa, it's this matter that is before court. There is no other murder docket that is registered out there.
Ngifana ngichaze ukuthi ucase 375 of 1 of 19 akulona icala lokubulala, icala nje elikhona lokubulala ka SENZO Robert Meyiwa, ucase 636 of 10 of 2014. Leli cala liqulwa lona manje.
You have already mentioned a name of an investigator who's associated with this other investigation, Phosphorus case 3751 of 2019. Is it the only investigator who is associated with that investigation?
No, my lord. There is also a Lieutenant Colonel Butelesi, who is also associated with the docket 375 of 1/2019.
Atikhona futhi no Lieutenant Colonel Butelesi or sevenza leli cala case 375 of 1 of 2019.
Brigadier, can you, in your own words, give a background of what happened after you were seized with this matter that is currently before court, and also at the same time deal with how the other investigation,
First Flores Case 3751 of 2019 came into existence.
Yes, my lord. So, when we were appointed, my lord, and I'll go back to November 12, 2018, Warrant Officer Makhubu as well as Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi were part of the investigation team. So I was appointed to lead the team, and then they were seconded to work under myself, together with Lieutenant Colonel Ramohala, who was part of the cold case unit, is now since retired, my lord.
Umasuka-ke leli mhla 12/11/2018 kukhona u-Warrant Officer Makhubu no-Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi ababeqoke ukusebenza kuleli cala. Mina-ke ngangingumholi wabo, kodwa-ke kwakukhona-ke futhi nomunye uRamukhale osekhotheme kodwa owayesebenza kulo leli cala.
So the cold case unit, which included myself, is Lieutenant Colonel Ramohala, Female Sergeant Mokula, Sergeant Mofane, were basically in charge of leading this current matter, my lord.
Manje mina-ke Sergeant Ramohala no Mokula no Mofane sasiqoke ukuthi-ke sihole-ke ekuphenyeni leli cala.
Yes, but in terms of the appointment, the four of us, meaning myself, Lieutenant Colonel Ramohala, Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi, and Warrant Officer Makhubu, were specifically designated to look into this matter, me being the lead investigating officer on the matter.
Thina-ke mina noRamohala noButhelezi noMokula sasicele-ke nje ukuthi-ke sihole uphenyo lwaleli cala. Mina-ke ngiwumholi waleli team.
Now, my lord, after I've signed for the docket and received it, there were theories when we were briefed, maybe a theory when we were briefed in terms of receiving the docket, that there seems to be a suspicion that the shooter or the person who killed the deceased in this matter was inside the house, and it could not make sense to the management as to why the previous investigation team and the others that were there could not address that matter. In other words, deal with the people who were inside the house. So that was part of the briefing that we got to say, look into this matter. This is the information that seems to be running around, and you need now to see if you can get to the bottom of it. Of course, if it is true.
So-ke okukhona-ke nombono ukuthi-ke
My lord, the witness is referring to a theory of which maybe needs to be unpacked, whether it was the investigation that revealed that evidence or it is a hearsay evidence through the investigation. Because, my lord, if the witness says after signing the docket there was a theory that a person who shot the deceased was inside the house, so the objection is on the fact that it must be cleared whether it was part of the investigation which led to that theory, or it was the hearsay, or it's the evidence they had. As the court pleases me.
I'm baffled by that objection. Well, it's already on record that there were two theories, and the witness is just merely rehashing the mandate that was given to them, and I think the objection is with respect premature. The witness will deal with all these aspects.
Why do you say it's hearsay evidence?
My lord, I was saying because I do not understand the theory, what the theory is. My lord, that's why I was saying at least if it can be unpacked, that it was as a part of the investigation or part of the evidence they had as investigating team, my lord, so that one will understand whether it amounts to a hearsay or what type of evidence, my lord.
Yeah, but they say he says there was a report made to him on assuming command of the investigation that there are allegations, you don't want to call it a theory, there are allegations that the person who allegedly murdered the deceased was inside the house.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you're saying, sir?
That's what I'm saying, my lord.
My lord, then if it was a report that was made to him, then it has to be disclosed. It's a report by who?
Yes, sir.
So, my lord, I still have to support the objection of my learned colleague, Advocate Msholon. Somebody must have actually made such a report. Who is that person for one to make a conclusion that this exists as a theory?
My lord, we need to look no further than the proposition that was put by Mr. Mgomezulu himself.
What did he say? About the theory?
That Longway is the person who shot the deceased. Now, this is what the witness is saying, and now there's an objection.
This is examination in chief.
Yes.
This is examination in chief. This is the new evidence brought by Brigadier Gininda in chief in the main trial.
Well, we have a lot of ground to cover. We're not going to detain ourselves with such trivialities.
Please, the court, this is not a triviality. I think the state probably used a very inaccurate term there. Because we're also concerned about the source of this report to the effect that the shooter was one of the people in the house. What is the source of that information, or who is the source of that information? That's our concern, because we cannot treat this as just a mere triviality. Can we?
We'll deal with that in due course. Brigadier, just perhaps for the record, there was a briefing in this matter when it was assigned to you, is that correct?
That is correct, my lord.
Purpose of the record, can you just mention as to who assigned the matter to you?
I received the instruction from then National Commissioner General Keta Sitole. He's the one that gave me the directive, my lord.
isicelo sasivela kulo umkhuzo wamaphoyisa ngaleso sikhathi okuJeneral Keta Sitole.
You mentioned that the other members of the team, Lieutenant Colonel Ramuhala, Sergeant Mohola, and Sergeant Mohani, came from the cold case unit. Can you just maybe explain the other members, Warrant Officer Makhubu and Lieutenant Colonel Butelezi, how did they come into the picture?
Well, when I was briefed and given the mandate to take command of this investigation, my lord, I was informed that they will form part of this team. They were seconded. As to how, I don't know, but that was the indication to me, and then subsequently we met, and then we worked together for some time. But through the difference of opinions, we sort of went to different directions.
Sergeant Ramuhala noMokhane sasisebenza nabo kulolu daba, kodwa ke uMakhubu noButelezi ngatshelwa nje ukuthi ke nabo ke bazongena kulolu daba bazosenza nathi ukuthi beza kanjani angizange ngichazele.
Did you know from which units of the police they came from?
Yes, Warrant Officer Makhubu was from the DPCI, I think in Germiston. Lieutenant Colonel Butelezi, she was a captain then. She's from the psychologist unit, I think FSL in Victoria.
Makhubu yena wayephuma DPCI eGermiston, uButelezi wayekapteni ku psychology unit eSepitoli.
What happened then after the matter was assigned to the team that you led?
Yes, so the first directive that I gave, my lord, is that copies of the docket must be made for each member of the team.
That was done, my lord.
lokho ke kwenziwa
The purpose thereof was, which was part of my directive, was so that each and every member of the team can analyze, can read the docket, and make sense as to whether, what happened based on the preliminary evidence. Based on the preliminary statements and evidence that was collected. Can we say they were perpetrators, and who are they, if the docket indicates such? And if there are no perpetrators, what evidence do we have? As I said, we were sitting with the primary thing of establishing whether they were intruders, and if they were intruders, who are they, which was the purpose of dealing with this matter. And in the absence of the intruders, based on the evidence, who were then the perpetrators of this matter of the deceased, my lord?
manje inhloso yokuthi kwenziwe amakhophi ale docket kwakwenzela ukuthi wonke umuntu okhona lapha kuleli thimba lama akwazi ukubheka ahlaziye ukuthi kwakungabeke kuwobani abenza lento uma kungekho bantu esibatholayo sibheke ukuthi ufakazi obukhona okunjani singabuthola uma kungekho sibheke ukuthi obani-ke ababengene lapho behlasela noma kungekho-ke lokho siqhubeke nokuphela.
Now, my lord, after on the specific time where now we obviously had to meet and get together in terms of what we found, it was clear that the views are the same. They still believe that there were no intruders.
Njengoba sesitholile lo msebenzi khona-ke okwasigcina sibona ukuthi kuyafana ukuthi abekho abebehlasela.
Based on what I've analyzed, I believe there were intruders, my lord.
Kuloko engangikubhekile-ke mina ngaqaphela ngibonile ukuthi babekhona abantu ababengenile.
Just a minute. Now, who held the view that there were no intruders?
Bani kwayicanga ukuthi ababengekho abantu ababehlasela.
Warrant Makhubu and Lieutenant Colonel Butelezi were of that view, my lord.
Ababe nalo mqondo Warrant Officer Makhubu no Captain Butelezi.
And I must also admit, my lord, before actually reading the docket thoroughly, I also believed at some stage when we were briefed, say there were no intruders. But obviously, when one looked at the docket, the evidence told me otherwise.
Nami-ke nalowo mqondo ukuthi babengekho abantu abahlasele kodwa-ke uma sengibhekile ngiyibhekisisile idocket ngabona ukuthi kufanele kube khona ababehlasele.
And what was your initial view based on?
Well, it wasn't really based on any facts, my lord, because it was before I had an opportunity to really look at the docket, except what I was hearing. But when one looked at the docket, and I will deal with what convinced me, my lord, I had to look at certain facts that were contained in the docket, and those facts made me come to a conclusion that there is no other way they were intruders.
Okay, mina okokuqala umbono wami kwawuphuma nje ekutheni yini engangiyizwile kodwa uma sengibheka-ke sengifundisisa idocket ngagcina ngibonile ukuthi ekugcineni kufanele kube khona abahlaseli ababekhona.
Yes, but perhaps maybe just to deal with it in a more structured way, you make copies for members of all members of the team. You ask them to go and read the evidence and analyze it. What happened thereafter?
So we would have then got together, my lord, where now these different views came up that, there's the two that I've mentioned, the two members believe they were intruders, and we had a view, I had a view, together with Colonel Ramahala, that the evidence suggests that they were intruders. And it is based on that slowly then we went apart. There was no formal arrangement for the team, these other two members, to stop working with us, but they we just went different directions, my lord. And that gave rise to the opening of the docket 375 of 1/2019. I was not aware of it.
Ekuqaleni-ke njengoba sengishilo ukuthi u-Warrant Officer Makhubu noButelezi babe nalomqondo ukuthi babengekho abantu ababehlasele mina-ke nolamkhala sasibona ukuthi impela bakhona abantu ababekhona ababehlasele yilokho-ke kwagcina kwenziwa ukuthi kube nokwehlukana yilapho-ke kwavulwa khona le docket u-375 mina engingenalwazi olukhulu ngayo.
I learned at a later stage, my lord, after this docket was opened, that it was in existence and it was suggesting that certain people in the house were involved, or rather.
Menje-ke mina-ke ngathi gcina sengizwe kamuva ukuthi ikhona le docket ekhona ebiphenya ukuthi ngalo umhlahlandlela ukuthi kwakukhona abantu ababekhona langa phakathi endlini.
Correct, yes.
When was this?
Sorry, can I ask the witness to raise his voice? I can hardly hear since I'm far away from the witness.
Are you aware as to who opened this docket for Slaughter's 3751 of 2019?
Uyazi ukuthi ubani owavula le docket le for Slaughter's 375 of 1 of 2019?
Yes, according to the system, my lord, it's Warrant Officer Makhubu.
Yebo, ngokuya-ke ngomshini le docket yavula Warrant Officer Makhubu.
I may also add, my lord, the reason I did not have that much information, I never had sight of this docket. The only time I saw it briefly, not actually perusing it, but seeing the file, was at the DPP's office here in Pretoria on the 29th of January 2020. But seeing the file, not actually the contents, that was the first time.
Ngicela uphawula ukuthi yini indaba nginalwazi olukhulu ngale file le ukuthi nje angizange ngiyibone le file kakhulu. Into engayenza ukuthi ngiyibone kancane nje ngilunguze kwa DPP ngomhla 21st January 2020. January 2020. Mhla 29 January 2020.
Then the second time was when, my lord, it was ordered, I think in 22 by the court, that it must be disclosed to the defense, and obviously then it was made available to the state advocate, and we had to make copies. I think that would have been 2022 or so. That was really the first time when we were making copies. I actually had sight of it for the first time.
And uthi ngibona oqala ilawa khona-ke ifanele-ke ivezwe futhi yenzelwe ama-copy abameli ila kwenziwa kwaphoqa ukuthi-ke nathi sikwazi ukuthi siyithole siyibuke.
Are you able to put a month as to when in 2022 that was, when you first had sight of the contents of this docket, 3751 of 2019?
Yes, yeah, 375 for 1 year. I think it will be after September, October, around that period, because I know that was the time the DPP and myself were given instruction to get this docket for the defense. So it was around that period, September, October 2022, my lord.
Ngicabanga ukuthi September noma October ngoba ngalesi sikhathi DPP acela khona ukuthi senze ama-copy ale document senzela abameli.
You mentioned that you first saw the docket at the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions on 29 January 2020. Can you just briefly deal with the circumstances under which you saw that docket?
Njengoba ngaphansi kwesiphi isimo ukuze ngomhla ka-29 January 2020 nikwazi ukubona le document?
Yes, so the circumstances were as follows, my lord. Subsequent to the differences that arose between us, let's say the investigators that were nominated, and I'm including Warrant Officer Makhubu and Buthelezi.
Emva kokuthi-ke kube nokwehlukana ngemibono phakathi kwethu no-Warrant Officer Makhubu.
The National Commission then appointed a Brigadier Perumal, to actually come and lead. And one, it was for the purpose of him making analysis on what is contained in the docket, and secondly, to lead the team now between the SAPS and the NPA, because it was not how do I put it, my lord? It was not a suitable environment between the parties that were involved. and it was overflowing to the NPA in terms of who now must brief the NPA with these different views that we're now taking to them on this matter.
Remember all over ukwathi emva ukuthi kuqale ukuphenywa lolu daba lolu kwagcina ke sekubekwa uNational Commission waqoka uBrigadier Perumal ukuthi ahlazele i-docket yaleli cala nokuthi ahole uphenyo ngoba kwakunengxaki yokuthi ke phakathi kwe-NPA ne-SAPS ubani ohola uphenyo lwalolu daba ngoba kufanele kube nathi thina sifanele sikwazi ukutshela i-NPA sibabriefe ngokuthi kwenzekani kuleli cala.
Now, Brigadier Perumal Malot was at that stage leading, I think, the commercial unit in the Eastern Cape. He was from the Eastern Cape.
Manje uBrigadier Perumal ngaleso sikhathi ngaphansi kwe-commercial unit e-Eastern Cape.
And he was assisted by then Colonel Lotz, who was from the DPCI anti-corruption unit. He's now a brigadier in the Western Cape also, from the anti-corruption unit.
Ngaleso sikhathi kwahola uColonel Lotz.
Colonel Lotz is now a brigadier. Lotz.
uColonel Lotz ke manje sekuthiwa useyibrigadier.
Now, my lord, when they came on board, I was asked by them to avail the docket at the time, which I did, so that they could make copies, analyze the docket, because they needed to brief the NACOM.
Manje kuthiwa ngaleso sikhathi ke ngacelwa ukuthi ngenze amakhophi ke e-docket ukuze bakwazi ukubrika i-NACOM.
I also do know, my lord, that they tried to find the other docket because when they came on board, it was after this 375 docket was already opened.
Manje ngiyazi ukuba zama ukuthola i-document ngoba ngaleso sikhathi ngiyazi ukuthi i-docket ka-375 lesivuliwe.
But they did not succeed.
Kodwa abazange bakwazi ukwenza lokho.
So just a minute. If you say they, who are you referring to?
I'm referring to Brigadier Perumal and Brigadier Lotz.
So uBrigadier Perumal no Brigadier Lotz.
But why were they unsuccessful in their efforts to obtain a copy of this docket 3751 of 2019?
You know in the bafula ukuthi bathole le docket ye 375.
I was informed, my lord, that they received resistance when Brigadier Perumal tried to phone the two members with an intention of getting this docket. From what he told me, there was resistance, mere resistance, and as a result, they did not succeed.
So ngaleso sikhathi ke bathola ukuthi bahlangabezana nenkinga mabezama ukukhuluma nalamalunga amabili bethi bezama ukuthola le document.
So we can just perhaps leave out of account what he told you, but the fact of the matter is they were not successful in getting a copy of CAS 3751 of 2019.
That is correct. They were not successful, my lord.
Athi yaba bazange bakwazi ukuphumelela ekuyithubeleni le document.
Yes.
Now, they then, after analyzing the docket, my lord, I know that there was a meeting with the National Commission where they briefed him, obviously, of the challenge that I've mentioned and what they saw on this docket in terms of the view. It must also be mentioned, my lord, or noted that at that stage, we were not in sight of any of these accused. So it was just merely, what is the docket telling us? Is it telling us that they were intruders, or is it telling us that there were no intruders? So as to who were the perpetrators at that stage, we were not there. There was no clue and none whatsoever at that stage.
Ngaleso sikhathi ke bathi mabesazela le document beyibheka bahamba bahlangana ne-National Commissioner ukuthi bazomchazela ukuthi baboneni kule document le ngoba ngaleso sikhathi ke kwangakabi nabasolwa kodwa ke kwakuna le document phela bafanele bachaze ukuthi yini abayibona ngaphakathi ukuthi babe khona yini abahlaseli noma babengekho ngoba abantu bekuthiwa ke babe ngathosa leli cala bebengakabi bikho.
The report that was given, my lord, was that they were of the view that there were perpetrators who came into the house, as much as they do not know who, but the evidence suggested that there were perpetrators who came into the house.
Yes.
I'm not sure if such report has been handed over to the
Yes.
I'm not sure if such report has been handed over to the defense.
Yes. They share their view with you. What happened, fella?
But this is Katiga. Nanoma babecabanga ukuthi babekhona abahlaseli ababekhona lapho nanoma ke babengakabi bikho abasolwa.
I was then, my lord, asked by them that I should introduce them now to the prosecutor from the NPA that is dealing with that matter at that stage, because it was already assigned to the North-Gauteng DPP.
Ngasicela ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi ngibahlanganiseke nomshushisi owashushisa lelo cala ngaleso sikhathi.
That, my lord, led me to me making arrangements with the DPP, and subsequently then that meeting of the 29th of January 2020 then took place, where Brigadier Perumal was there for the first time to meet the DPP and obviously indicate that he will be leading, from the ACPS side on the directive of the NPA, and obviously the directive or the direction that the investigation. So then on the 29th of January, my lord, 2020, we then met the team that was assembled, or rather that was assigned from the NPA to deal with this matter.
Mhla 29 January 2020 ilasathi nakhona nethimba elaliqokwe ukuthi lubheke lolu daba.
The names that I recall, it was Advocate Leonard.
Advocate Leonard.
I think there was also Advocate Makwata.
Advocate Makwata.
And Advocate BALOI, that is before court.
No, Advocate BALOI.
Yes.
My lord, so the brigadier obviously introduced himself, and the two members, I'm just not sure whether they arrived first or they found us there, but Warrant Makhubu and Buthelezi also arrived.
Warrant Officer Makhubu
Who else? Buthelezi.
No Buthelezi nabo bafika. Ngisakhumbula ukuthi laba abanye bazithulana noma bazithulana.
And that is a day, my lord, where I said they were in possession now of this 375 docket, which obviously I saw from the distance when they were addressing the DPP.
Docket 375
Yes.
And it was also the first time that Brigadier Perumal, my lord, came face to face with them, obviously after facing the challenge of getting the copies of the docket.
Brigadier Perumal docket.
Yes. The meeting, my lord, didn't really end well because the brigadier was taking exception about the protocol that was not being followed, discipline. So it didn't end well, which ended with the two members leaving with that docket from the DPP, leaving us behind with the state advocates.
Brigadier Penman wayekhononda ukuthi ke inqubo enhle ayizange ilandelwe nokuthi ke abazange basenze ngendlela enhle lapho ke laba ababili basuka behamba naleyo docket.
Yes.
Obviously the investigations and the instructions, my lord, we then discuss when we are left, with the DPP to say what is their view, what must be followed, those nitty-gritty were discussed. Obviously after these issues were dealt with, these differences and the arguments, my lord.
So behambile-ke kwakhulunywa ngokuthi uphenyo lufanele lwenzeke kanjani-ke nokuthi-ke kufanele kulandulwe yiphi indlela yokubuka umbono omuphi nokuthi kufanele kwenzeke kanjani-ke emva kokuthi-ke kukhulunywe-ke nanokuthi-ke kwakuhlukanwa kanjani ngembono ngaphambili.
Yes.
Yes, I think my recollection, my lord, that's what happened on the 29th at the DPP's office.
engikhumbulayo ke ukuthi lokhu kwenza ngomhla 29 ehhovisi lika DPP.
So for the first time then, my lord, now we had two possible suspects, and this is where, and I dealt with it, I think also in the trial within trial, the cold case analysis around them, meaning now accused 1 and 2 started.
Family, let's talk about Colonel Buthelezi and Warrant Makhubu, who were part of the investigation that was appointed by the minister to investigate the Mayiwa case. After the 40 people or investigators were appointed, they were fired. Then this case was given to Brigadier Gininda, Buthelezi, and Makhubu, and Ramohale. These were the 4 people who were appointed to this case, as far as we know. Warrant Makhubu was called by the defense, which was Advocate Mgomezulu. And he took the stand, he took the oath, and he elaborated exactly what happened. Why is Gininda trying to isolate him? I wouldn't, I was surprised to see the braveness that Warrant Makhubu has. He crushed BALOI, whatever BALOI was trying to put a trap to him. But Warrant Makhubu didn't fall for that trap. He was too smart for BALOI. And he made sure that when he answers, when he was cross-examined by BALOI, he made sure that he will stick to the right lane and he will never make a mistake. And he just did that. And he really, really crushed BALOI. And the fact now comes out that Gininda is trying to be senior, like he wanted to be a lone investigator because he didn't want people who were smarter than him, like this Warrant Makhubu and Buthelezi. He didn't want people who were seeing beyond what Brigadier Gininda was seeing, because by then he was still colonel when he was put into this investigation of Mayiwa case, murder case. So, but the protection that he's getting in this court of Rata, it's really surprising, because Rata, he can't hide his biasness. He's always at the part to show that, don't touch my baby Gininda. If you dare touch my baby Gininda, you will see the true colors of Rata. That's exactly what he is doing, because he tried by all means to defend Brigadier Gininda. But we know now that the evidence that Gininda is giving now, and the evidence that was given by Warrant Makhubu during the trial, within a trial, and the evidence that is given, Gininda is still lying under oath even now as he's on the stand, 2024. He's on the off ramp when Mgomezulu got sick, then that's when, but on Monday he's going to be in and continue with the lies. I don't know why he is doing this, but let's hope for the best. Let's keep exposing this kind of shenanigans, because this is our country. We can't let it go like that. We need to protect it. Family, what do you think? Just drop your comment and tell me after listening to the whole thing, what do you think about what Warrant Makhubu did to Advocate BALOI, and the fact that there's something that is being hidden for everyone not to see. Brigadier is, I would say, he's something else that I cannot say on YouTube. Family, drop your comment respectfully. Ngiyandithanda nokuthanda love. Ngithi bantu bakithi. Ningakhohlwa ukusubscribe and nithande futhi, then we fix our country. Ngiyandithanda nokuthanda love. Ngithi noma izindlu zodaka kusekhaya la. Bravo, bravo.